is the 77 WABC minicast.
Welcome back to the Dick Morris and Doug DePiro show, sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group.
How you doing,
One of the
Dick?
keys here to the affordability issue that has animated the Democrats is the housing situation. Kids who live with their parents and want to escape but can. We essentially have a country of captives. People who want to are locked into lives in blue states, who want to flee to red states, and are locked into economics where they have to live with their parents and they want to live on their own. And freeing these Americans from the captivities of their own economics is really now key to Donald Trump's agenda. If you're an adult younger than 35 in California, you're more likely to be living with your parents than you are to own your own home. 39% live with their parents, 16% own their own home. If you do get to own your own home, it's more than likely to be an inheritance, 19%, than the purchase of a new building, only 8%. For maybe a third of all Golden State Gen Xers, the only way to get married and start a family is literally to leave.
Oh, my God, it's unbelievable. It's so unbelievable. So what's next, Dick? I don't have any script.
Take some calls.
Oh, Leah, let's take a call. Leah from New York. Hi, Leah from New York. Hello, Leah from New York. Okay, we'll go to Jim in New York. Leah hung up. Sorry, Leah. Jim, New York?
Hey, Greenwood Lake?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I missed the first half hour of your show because I was doing my taxes. I'm 68. I'm retired. Last year, I had to pay $4,000. This year, under the big beautiful bill, I get back $1,000.
Wow.
That's a $5,000 thing.
That's
now, of
beautiful.
course, my utility bills in New York went from being $350 a month to $650 a month. That's the state legislature.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to thank Donald Trump for keeping me warm.
That's beautiful. I'm sure he's telling you, you're welcome.
That'll be increasingly
And
something we're going to be
do a
hearing
great
because most of Trump's tax cuts in the big beautiful bill are beginning to kick in now. And while they were passed and they made big political headlines a year ago, they've not really taken effect until now, later in the tax season. And what Steve is reporting is going on throughout the country, and it's silently building a political base for Donald Trump.
So let's take some more calls. Let's go to Michael in New York. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Whenever I hear about a movement to save our fellow humans from dying in these wars that have been going on since the beginning of time, I mean, there was a gentleman that wrote a book, and the author was interviewed on the Amish show, and he says all these wars with all these all these countries were fought without us sitting down and speaking with the leaders. I couldn't believe that. How could they do that? They go, okay, just send the troops over there and let's engage. But, you know, we don't have to kill each other. And that's what Trump's all about. And I believe in him. If that's all he ever does in life, the guy, he's a winner, okay? And I want to know what I can do. I want to join the Republican Party. I want to go to the meeting in Manhattan, the Women's Club.
Oh, it's great. You will love that club. First of all, it's absolutely beautiful. It's on 51st Street, right by St. Patrick's, right there, walk away. And it's a beautiful building. They have a restaurant. They have meeting rooms. They have it's just a convention. It's just absolutely beautiful. And all the people are just the nicest people. You know, for Republicans are nice anyway, but it's a beautiful club to be. Everyone should really look into the Women's Republican Club, and really to strengthen us all, you know, and the more people that join, you know, and you're looking at, and we did a beautiful fundraiser for Betsy there, or she did it. We didn't do it. She did it, and we went and Dick spoke. So it's a great club. Absolutely.
How do I get invited? It says men are not really welcome, but they can come as guests.
Yeah, I don't know if it says men aren't really welcome.
It used to be called the Manhattan Women's Republican Club, but now they accept everybody. What's the address?
It's 3 West 51st
Yeah, 3
Street.
West 51st Street.
Right by Rockefeller Center, right? You know, walk out the door, you see Rockefeller Center. But it's a great place. You could go. Absolutely. There's a lot of men there.
There are 8 blue states that already have or are considering raising income tax or wealth taxes. Here's a list. In Washington State, Governor of Washington signed a 10% income tax on earnings of over $1 million. Rhode Island is considering a 3% surtax on incomes over $1 million, known as a millionaire's tax. In New York, Mandami is proposing another 2% income tax increase on high-income earners, taking the city's top tax rate to 18.5%. That's before you keep any of your own money. California is proposing a billionaire tax, a one-time 5% tax on net worth for residents worth over $1 billion. In Virginia, Democratic legislators proposed a 10% tax bracket for incomes over $1 million and no tax on net investment income. Michigan proposed a 5% income tax surtax on high earners, raising the top marginal rate there to 9.25%. And if this list does not convince you to switch parties, your wallet will. Because the Democrats have only begun to go crazy. The net effect of the Democratic reaction to the Trump power in government and the Trump agenda forcing itself in Washington is to retreat to the high-tax blue states and soak their residents as much as they possibly can. And Mandami's victory was the beginning of that process. If Hochul is reelected in New York, it will simply increase that. If Ned Lamont is elected in Connecticut and Betsy McCoy does not win, that trend will continue there. There's only one strategy that is effective for keeping your tax bill down, and that is to move.
Or elect a Republican, somebody like Betsy, not somebody like Betsy, elect Betsy in Connecticut, Bruce Blakeman in New York, right? Where else, Dick? How about Jersey?
Well,
Chitterella would have been great.
About Washington State, which is about to enact a gigantic income tax 10%.
Who were the conservatives running in Washington?
I don't know.
Yeah, we have to find out.
Virginia, which just changed governors, is now proposing a 10% tax. The California billionaire tax, a 5% tax on net worth for residents over $1 billion. The New York, where Mandami is proposing another 2%.
And don't believe Newscomb that he's going to fix the roads, because he's not going to fix the roads so nobody could drive out of California. He's going to fix some walls across the road.
That's the only exit strategy he's got.
Yeah, that's all he's got. Unbelievable. So, anyway.
The Republicans figured a way, the Democrats, figured a way to make sure that Democrats were elected. And they did that in California by saying that the top 2 candidates in the primaries would run against each other. And if one of them was a Democrat and one was a Republican, you'd have one from each party. But increasingly, the Republicans are defying them by winning the election, winning the second and third places in the elections. There's a guy named, who was a former Fox News host, Steve Hilton, who is running for governor of California as a Republican. And he is very likely to win by finishing third, which means that there will no longer just be two Democrats in the first primary.
Interesting.
A very interesting tactic.
Steve Hilton, is he
Stillwell, who
oh my God.
also
guy should go to jail.
Yeah, he should be. He's running for Senate for governor of California, and he was earlier accused, with evidence, of having a Chinese girlfriend who turned out to be a spy for the Chinese Communist Party. Democrats rewarded him by giving him a seat on the Intelligence Committee.
Unbelievable.
Where he has access to lots of information of great interest to his girlfriend and to the Chinese Communist Party. Now there's pressure on Stillwell to leave the race, not because he's compromising America, but because he is being sued for sexual harassment by a number of people who are on his staff, and they're quitting in numbers. So we're finally, this guy who for years has compromised the security of the United States by giving secrets to the Chinese.
Yeah, and he's creepy looking. The guy's
now is finally going to have to leave because of his own sexual harassment charges.
Yeah, Joe Concha just talked about that too. But he's also creepy. Like when he talks and the things he says is just great. Who we have to have on is Brandon Gill. He's really going at all these. I don't know if he went at what's his name, Stillwell, whatever his name is. So how do you say his name?
Stillwell.
Yeah,
Gill is a congressman from Texas who Doug and I worked for and helped get elected. His father is Dinesh D'Souza.
That's his father-in-law, right?
Who did the movie 2,000 Mules,
right,
exposing voter fraud. Mm-hmm. And he has been a sensational member of Congress.
Really great.
Taking the lead on issues of voter integrity, voter identification, the SAFE Act to stop illegals from voting.
The first time he started talking to some Congress people, it was, what's her name, Crockett?
Yeah.
What do I call it? Jasmine Crockett? Call it something. I don't want to talk about it. That was like one of the first people he took on. It was fantastic. After that, he just went to everybody. And he just, you know what? He's an honest guy. He just goes at it. And he's so smart and he speaks well and he just goes at them. And they don't have anything after he goes. He'll ask him a question and they'll say, well, he said, no, that's not the answer. It's a yes or no. And he go, well, then he'll answer the question, then just move on. He's really fantastic. Brandon Gill. Somebody you'll hear from increasingly in our politics. Yeah. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Take some more calls.